Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik. Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, Vancouver's best auto service experience. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing very well this morning.
So we're talking about a smart car, something we've not really talked about before, a 2006 smart car. Was this a diesel? What were you working on with this vehicle?
This was a diesel, yeah, turbo diesel. Sorry, Mark.
Rarer version of this car?
Well, most of the smart cars for the earlier versions sold in, well, they were all sold in Canada. I believe they're selling them now in the U.S., but for many years they were only sold in Canada. So the earlier versions were diesels, and then they started selling gas, and I think they've gone back to diesels. I'm not sure on the newer models, but all the older ones are diesel.
So what was happening on this car?
Well, this car came in with a couple of issues. It had an oil leak, an engine oil leak. Also had a check engine light on, and the vehicle had been inspected at Mercedes, diagnosed, and she was told that the owner was told it needed an EGR valve and also a turbo intercooler. So we did an inspection of the vehicle and verified that those in fact were the two issues. That there was an EGR valve was stuck and full of carbon deposits, which they typically do, and the EGR cooler, the EGR I'm losing my words here. The turbo intercooler was leaking oil.
So what did you notice with the car when you serviced it?
Well, basically those two items. There was oil dripping from the vehicle, and during our testing, we were able to verify that the EGR valve, in fact, was not functioning. You know, on further inspection, we actually found the valve was stuck. So not repairable, not just due to excess carbon deposit, but the actual valve itself had gone bad.
So this seems like it could be quite a bit of work on this vehicle, was it?
It is a fair bit of work, quite a few hours work to remove. There's a lot to remove on these cars. Typically, you know, the engines are tucked into the back very compactly. The bumper needs to be removed. A lot of the suspension components need to come off so you can get access to the various parts. So so a lot of labor just to get in there and get going on it. Unfortunately, with these vehicles, everything just it's compact and everything's put in very tightly. But yeah, a fair bit of work, but certainly reasonably straightforward once you get everything apart. I'm going to share a few photos. Oh, there's our smart car. And there's the EGR valve. So this is the old EGR valve where my mouse pointer, this is the electronic solenoid actuator section of the EGR valve, and then the actual flap is in this area here. So this piece was basically the motor was stuck internally, so that's why this piece needed to be replaced. And then we have a look at the EGR cooler, and there's the old EGR cooler. You can see this is a
Turbo intercooler, you mean, right?
Sorry, Mark?
Turbo intercooler?
Turbo intercooler. I don't know why I keep calling it EGR cooler. We do so many EGR coolers. It's the turbo intercooler. Thank you. This is, you can see a lot of fresh oil around this area here, and then of course a lot of just dried up old dirty oil over here. So this part has been leaking for quite some time, but it just got substantially worse over a period of time. So I believe I should be back. Yes, I am.
So what's your overall impression of smart cars?
Well, they're not my favorites. I find they're kind of tiny, you know, they're little small, but if you want a small economical car, they're pretty awesome. There's a lot that does go wrong with these vehicles, and they're kind of finicky over time. You know, things like the ignition. We've had issues with the ignition keys that don't work. The transmission on these vehicles, it's an automatic manual transmission, so things do go wrong with those. Turbochargers, you know, they're not, you know, I look at different, you know, we've worked on some that have quite high kilometers and they seem to be pretty good, but they're a little bit hit and miss. There are a lot of things that do go wrong along the way, and I think sometimes if you get lucky and you take care of the car, you can get a lot of kilometers out of it, but there are a lot where you don't get so much, and they tend to have a lot of problems. So you may end up spending a lot of that fuel savings on repairs. You know, unless you really want something small and easy to park and super economical, there's probably some better options out there. But you know, many people like them.
So there you go. If you're looking for service for your smart car in Vancouver, the guys to see are Pawlik Automotive. You can reach them at 604-327-7112 to book an appointment, or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, Mark.